You guys like the lessons I've been learning while reading Matthew, so might as well continue. So as I kept studying the book of Matthew, I had another revelation. In Matthew 8, one of the disciples went up to Jesus and said, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Then another disciple says, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." And then Jesus responded, "No, follow me now and let the dead bury their own dead." And when I first read that, it sounded harsh, right? Because imagine, you just lost a parent and Jesus says, "No, follow me now, leave them be." It almost sounds heartless, right? But when I sat with it longer, I realized Jesus wasn't disrespecting family. I mean, we all know that one commandment that says, honor your mother and father, right? But what Jesus was teaching was something deeper, and it's this. Nothing can come before God, not even good things. I mean, the title of the verse literally says the cost of following Jesus, which means following him requires total surrender, not partial loyalty, not even delayed obedience. And anything that competes with your commitment to God will eventually be removed out of your life. This also reminded me of the story of Abraham finally receiving his son in Genesis. If you guys didn't know, Abraham waited decades for a child. Isaac was a promise he prayed for, cried for, and even believed for. Then one day, God asked Abraham to sacrifice Isaac back to him. Imagine the emotional weight of that. The child you waited for all your life, the miracle that proved God's promise, now God asks you to give him back to him. Abraham didn't fully understand. He must have felt confusion, grief, fear, for sure even heartbreak. Yet Abraham still obeyed. Step by step, Abraham walked up that mountain preparing to sacrifice his only son, trusting God even while it hurt. And just as he was about to unalive his son, God stopped him and said, "Now I know that you fear me because you have not withheld from me what you loved most." What a test, right? Like, it was never about taking his son away. It was about Abraham's heart posture. God was making sure that the gift could never become greater than the giver. And that's when something clicked for me. Throughout the Old Testament, the one thing God constantly warns us about is idolatry. It's not just about praising false gods. It's about anything we place above him. Because an idol is simply anything you cannot surrender to God, anything that you love more than him. And I can say this confidently because I've personally gone through it. There was once a time I was in a relationship where I placed that person above God. My priorities shifted. My relationship with God weakened. I started compromising values I never thought I would compromise. I mean, when your emotions are strong, you don't realize how far you drifted. The Bible literally says the heart is deceitful above all things. And eventually, you guessed it, God removed that person from my life the hard way. Looking back, I understand it was correction, and the strongest correction comes through experience, because God will never compete for first place in your life. Always remember this: anything you place above God or love more than God, relationships, money, success, status, validation, career, comfort, even your own plans, becomes an idol. And once you do, watch God snatch that person or thing out of your life real quick. Not because he doesn't want to see you happy, but because he refuses to let us build our identity on something that can't sustain us. If God removes something you couldn't live without, it might be because he's reminding you who you actually can't live without. I'm serious, guys. Put God first or learn the hard way like I did. God bless us all.